Greetings fellow captains and welcome back to another episode of World of Warships with the Hive Hound, and today we are looking at the brand new B-roll project, the Tier 7 Premium American Aircraft Carrier, the Saipan. So what is the Saipan? Essentially it's an aircraft carrier based on the Baltimore class cruiser, which means it's relatively small, but does boast some powerful air groups. Was armed with a whole bunch of AA artillery. It entered service in 1946, and there was 2 ships in the series. So a couple of key points to note, besides the fact that I haven't actually done anything for the first 2 minutes of this battle, is double the pain. The torpedo bombers drop 2 torpedoes each, so you have 6 torpedo bombers in an air group, 2 bombers per strike, so 2 bombers equals 4 torps, so that's 12 torpedoes in total. The aircraft are considered tough with an above average AA pool, and they're also fast. Apparently their speed is above average as well. First thing we're trying to do here is try and get some spotting done. We notice B's being captured. We assume that's the DD, so we start turning towards that, but then we see a smoke screen. So smoke screens typically come from DDs. It's quite some heavy AA, so we have a look and like, hang on, nothing else has smoke here. That has to be the Friesland. So we kind of change our battle plan. Friesland is obviously an anti-aircraft DD. Its AA is ridiculous, but we do want to try and get rid of him as soon as possible. So we notice the Alaskas are there. Right, Friesland spotted. It's a risky move, but we're going to try and kill him. I'll spot him to at least get him killed as quickly as possible. So a few notes. The torpedo bombers have 3,600 hit points. They travel at a maximum speed of 163 knots, and they're detectable from 8 kilometers. Dive bombers have 3,900 hit points, can travel at 172 knots, have an attack unit size of 2, 6 in per squadron, and are detectable from 7.7 kilometers. Both aircraft types have a 77-second restore rate. Maximum torpedo damage is 6,166 with my build, and maximum bomb damage is 10,302 with a 68% chance of causing fires. Torpedo speed is quite slow at 48 knots, and they have a 3.5 kilometer torpedo range. The overview says it's got good AA. It's not. It's got a defensive rating of 56, which is quite low. A concealment rating of 10.4. So nothing particularly fancy going on there. In all fairness, if we compare it to the other Tier 7 carriers, for example, if I set my ship filters correctly, that will obviously help quite a lot. So if we have a look at its counterpart, for example, the Lexington, the aircrafts, so the torpedo bombers only have 2,600 hit points and 3,000 for the dive bombers. But the torpedoes have more range at 5 kilometers instead of 3.5. AA defense rating of 98, so AA defense is significantly better, but it's not quite as sneaky. It has 11 kilometer detectability range. What's the maximum strike? So the dive bombers have an attack unit of 3. They still do the same 10,000 average bomb damage, but with a 58% fire chance as well. So the torpedo bombers are stronger on the Saipan, for sure. As we try and bomb drop, torpedo bomb these. This pair of Alaskas here in the middle. Risky. We've lost a lot of planes, but you know we're going to start being a little bit more careful. And for the eagle-eyed of you out there, you would have noticed that, yeah, we're basically 150, oh, well, slightly more than 150 points behind now. we're about 220 points behind. We both hold 1 cap each, but A is completely open for them to take, and we've only done 8,000 damage. This has been pretty slow, which is why I've done all the background chatting beforehand, but this is where it starts to get interesting. So boom, there we go. We hit the Alaska for 10k, getting him out of the game. We're going to turn around and try and drop the second Alaska. Again, like, this is a very sort of AA heavy game. This is not particularly good matchmaking for a carrier, and somehow we managed to drop to miss every single bomb that we dropped there. So going back to the sort of the tankiness of the aircraft. Yeah, they're even better, they're even stronger than the Implacable. 3,000 and 3,500 for hit points for the Implacable, whereas you know, we have 3.5 and basically 4,000 hit points. So these planes can definitely take hit, but with their slow reload rate, the fact that you don't have a massive amount of aircraft in the first place means managing your planes is a very crucial and key part of doing well in the Saipan. So you can see we've done 27,000 damage, where we're already down to posting up 3 planes, but don't worry, we're still gonna do beautiful things in this carrier. We've noticed that there's just that one Stalingrad left on this flank now, so we've set our carrier to go and take B, because we should be able to do so pretty much uncontested. Unfortunately, our team over here seem to be struggling to get rid of this Stalingrad. They're being attacked by the enemy carrier as well. So we're going to head over there and try and give them a little bit of support. So we're going to drop our fighters over our Iowa to help assist him, and here we go, bomb drop. So we're on 27,000 damage. How many hit points has this Stalingrad got left? So we hit him for 12, and he literally must have a couple of hundred hit points left. It has to be less than 1,000. His health bar is completely non-existent. So hopefully our team can push him and finish him off now. So we have now actually got a full squadron of torpedo bombers left. We notice a Brandenburg. Brandenburg's AA is not the best, so we should be able to get at least 2 full torpedo salvos off onto the Brandenburg and cause some significant damage, and basically try and stop him from flanking our battleship there, because it's a 2-on-1 scenario, and if this Brandenburg pushes out, they're going to have him in a really nice crossfire, and yeah, that means he's not going to survive very long. So there we go. That was a pretty juicy torpedo salvo there, and yeah. So see the Brandenburg's AA. So this is the kind of ship that you can punish. The Brandenburg did actually get a high caliber from I believe from hitting us. So there we go. Our second set of torpedo bombers are off. We're going to switch back to our dive bombers. We hit him with another 3 torpedoes, set 2 floods, and those floods are going to stick. And you can see our damage is going to rack up fairly quickly. There, he's gone. He's out of there. So now it is. We are still behind on points, but we have slowly started clawing it back. There's only about 50 points in it at this point in the match. But again, we're pretty much out of planes. There's not a whole lot we can really do, and of course we just lost a legendary battleship So it is now a 2v2, a carrier and an Iowa versus a carrier and an Iowa. So there we go. Get our bombs away on the enemy Iowa. Nice, reasonable 6,000 damage salvo. We do set a fire, but he has obviously put that fire out, and unfortunately that's not going to stick. We do supply our Iowa with a bit of support. We take a nasty salvo because we were spotted by the carrier planes. But you know, we've still got some life in us yet. We're definitely not out of this fight. And my plan here is to spot the enemy Iowa for ours, but Shadow Arrow, who has a fantastic game, takes out the Iowa, making it a 2v1. We are still down by what's that, about 60 points, but we have now just captured B as well. So as long as our Iowa doesn't die, we should be okay. But to ensure our victory, or at least to try and ensure it as much as I can, we are actually going to push our carrier into A and try and stop them from receiving points through A as well. Now my plan here is to basically spot their Lexington. I want our Iowa to shoot him. If I send planes at this Lexington with the Lexington's AA, they're just going to get shredded. They're just gonna die. So we're trying to keep him spotted. Our Iowa's just about to come around the top of the island. Hopefully he's got shots. Unfortunately, the Lexington's gone unspotted. We do notice at this point that the Lexington is heading back towards our Iowa with bombers. The Lexington is spotted, so our Iowa can shoot at him. Whether he does or not is entirely his prerogative at this point. But we come back, we drop a set of fighters to help protect him from the enemy torpedoes. Hopefully they're effective enough to keep him alive, and we have now just taken the points lead. This Lexington, fair play to him, he's put himself exactly where he needs to be. He's got an island between himself and the Iowa, and it's not easy to get around. He's basically got free reign. He's got free shots on the Iowa until the Iowa actually, you know, gets around that island. So thankfully he does seem to have lost quite a lot of aircraft, so it is going to help us. Our fighter, as you can see, is still above, dealing with the fighters of the carrier and its bombs as well. And at this point, well, right, okay, well, we might as well. If my purpose here is to try and distract him. Can we get him to push out, or is he just gonna let us? Is he just gonna sit there and let us farm him for damage? So there, a firm 4 torpedo salvo into the back of the Lexington. But yeah, he's not going to move. He's not going to pull out of there. Our points lead is stretching to about 60 now. So if he kills our Iowa, we could still be in trouble, and we do only have, although we do only have a minute left of this battle. And yeah, this is what I want about the Lexington's AA. We're going to attack him with a full squadron of dive bombers. Again, our purpose is to try and get him out of that corner, but he's not interested. We score a nice 12,000 damage salvo. And look, you can just, even with how tanky our planes are, you get near an enemy aircraft carrier and you're just asking to get wrecked. And well, this worked out quite nicely. We get back to our carrier and we cap the base with just 11 seconds left. We've got now 120 points lead, which means even if he manages to kill our Iowa, it doesn't matter, we win. And there we go, that is the match. So I do apologise for not being the most formidable carrier player in the world, but yeah, this the Saipan has honestly made me start to enjoy carries a bit more. The fact that you've got to be so careful with your planes and make sure you don't throw them all away far too early. Yeah, I had to record it on my console because my my PC decided it didn't want to record this game for reasons only known between Elgato and my PC. They don't seem to want to communicate very well. So I do hope you enjoyed this introduction to the Saipan. Any questions about carriers? If you want to see more carriers, drop a comment below. And until next time, take care.